listen. His disciples were not blind, nor were they deaf. They were as with eyes as we are. They had all the senses we have got. He must be referring to some other eyes, to some other senses. Those eyes which can look only outward, which can only look into the without, are blind, unless they also become capable of seeing within. If you cannot see yourself, you are blind. And one who cannot see himself, what else can he really see? And whatever he sees, whatever his knowledge, it remains based on a deep blindness. Unless you become self-knowing, unless you turn within, unless you can have a look at the reality that you are, whatsoever you encounter in the world is going to be just the appearance. The same will be the proportion. The more you penetrate within, the more you can penetrate without, because reality is one. If you are not acquainted with yourself, all your acquaintance, all your knowledge is actually just false. Without self-knowledge, there is no possibility of any knowledge. You can go on knowing and knowing. You can go on collecting more and more information, but that information will remain information, dead, borrowed. It will never become a borrowing eye, a knowing eye. How can one attain those eyes which can penetrate the illusory and can encounter the real? This is going to be the base of this Upanishad. In the old days, it was called Chakshumati Vidya. Chakshumati Vidya, the wisdom through which eyes are attained. But the first thing to remember, constantly remember, is that as we are blind, we are dead, we are illusory, the stuff that dreams are made of. Why cannot the eyes see the real? They are filled with dreams, filled with thoughts. That whatsoever you see, you are not seeing that which is. You project your ideas, your thoughts, your dreams upon it. The whole world becomes just a projection screen, and you go on projecting things. Whatever you see outside, you put it there. You live in a man-created world, and everyone lives in his own world. That world consists of his own projections. Unless your eyes are completely vacant, unless there is no content within your eyes, no thoughts, no clouds, unless you become mirror-like, pure, innocent, contentless, you cannot encounter the real. The real can be seen only through naked, empty eyes. It cannot be seen through filled eyes. This is all the art or the science of meditation consists of. How to make your eyes mirror-like, non-projecting, just looking at that which is, not creating it, not imagining it, not adding anything to it, just encountering it as it is. You never see things as they are. You always see through your mind. You color them. A girl looks beautiful to you, or a man looks beautiful. The same man or the same woman was not beautiful a day before, and the same man or the same woman may not be beautiful again. So what has happened? how does a person suddenly become beautiful? The whole logic is illogical. We say, I love this person because this person is beautiful. But in reality, the contrary is the case. This person becomes beautiful because you love. The beauty is not the case, but a side effect. When you are in love with someone, the person becomes beautiful. To others, that same person may not be beautiful. To others, the same person may even be ugly. To you, also the same person was not beautiful before, and later the same person can become ugly to you also. But at this moment, in this mood of love, you project something on the person. You project your dreams. The person becomes just a screen. The whole beauty is put there by you. It is you who create the beautiful face. The beautiful face is your interpretation. It is not the real, because the reality is neither ugly nor beautiful. Just think, if man disappears from this earth, what will happen? Will the hills be beautiful? The flowers beautiful? The thorns ugly? What will happen? With the disappearance of man, beauty and ugliness will both disappear. The earth will be there as it is. The sun will rise and the moon will be there in the night. And the sky will be filled with every day with stars. Flowers will flower, trees will bloom, the hills will be as they are. Everything will be as it is, but there will be no beauty and no ugliness. With the disappearance of man, the interpretations disappear. The reality is neither beautiful nor ugly, it is there. We interpret it according to ourselves. That is why a certain thing can be beautiful in China and yet not beautiful in India. A certain type of face is beautiful in Africa, however, it may not be beautiful in England. We conceive of things through our mind. That mind goes on interpreting. But we can understand about beauty and ugliness. But what about other interpretations? If a man disappears, there will be no good and evil in the world. Nothing will be moral and nothing actually will also be immoral. All our morality and immorality, all our judgment is through conceptions. A lion jumping on an animal and eating it, tearing it. Is he bad or good? Is he evil? If we interpret it, then it looks very evil, violent. But the lion is not doing anything. He's simply eating. He's not aware of anything, of what is good and what is bad. He's not doing anything bad. He's just taking his lunch as we take our lunch. If man disappears, then there is nothing good and nothing bad. And the same happens to the sage. When a man becomes enlightened, the man has disappeared from him all the interpretations and judgments. He has become pure, as if he is no more. The mind has been dropped. He is conscious, fully conscious, but there is no content to project. He looks at the world as it is, without any interpretation. And for the first time, he comes to know reality. Man cannot know real because man goes on projecting his ideology. And all ideologies are homemade. The existence doesn't support them. We create them. That is why it is said over and over again, all over the world. Eckhart says it in the West. Boehm says it in the West. Rinzai says it in Japan. Lin Chi says it in China. Buddha says it in India. All over the world, wherever a mirror-like mind has appeared, it has said nothing is bad and nothing is good. There is no evil, there is no God. Existence is one. And if we can accept this existence without any interpretation for the first time, we are creating a way which can lead us to the truth. We cannot carry our mind to the truth. If we carry our mind, whatsoever we come to know will not be the truth. We may encounter the truth, but we will not know it because the moment we see something, we have interpreted. We pass through a garden and we see rose flowers. We have not seen them, and immediately the mind says, beautiful. The flowers have disappeared and our concept has come in. We have projected. We have judged. So that's why Jesus says, judge ye not, so you may not be judged. If judgment disappears, we have become innocent. If you do not divide into good and bad, or ugly and beautiful, acceptable and not non-acceptable, if you don't divide things, if you look at reality without any division, your eyes will come into existence for the first time. This is Chakshumati Vidya, the science or the science of gaining eyes. If you divide, you will remain blind. If you judge, you will remain blind. If you say this is bad and this is good, you will persist in your blindness because existence knows nothing. There is nothing good and nothing bad. Existence accepts everything. And when you also accept everything, you have become existence-like. You have become one with the existence. So remember, morality is not religion. Rather, on the contrary, morality is one of the hindrances in gaining religion, just like immorality. Morality and immorality both are hindrances. When you transcend both, you have transcended the mind, the dualistic attitude. Then the sage and the sinner have become one. Then you remain in yourself, you do not move to judge. And when you don't judge, your mind cannot project. The mind projects to judgment. You may have heard this story, so famous, but Christianity goes on missing the meaning of it. In a village, a crowd came to Jesus, and they had brought a woman who had sinned in the eyes of the crowd. So they said to Jesus, this woman is a sinner, and she has confessed. So what should we do now? It is written in the old scriptures that she should be killed by throwing stones at her. She should be stoned to death. What do you say? What should we do? They were trying to put Jesus in a dilemma, on a spot, because if he said not to kill her, as it was expected by the scriptures, then because he was saying love, and if someone strikes you on one cheek, give him the other cheek. If someone forces you to carry his burden for 1 mile, go 2 miles with him. If someone snatches your coat, give him your shirt as well. This man could not say kill, murder, stone this woman to death. And if he said, no, don't kill her, then they would say you are against the scriptures. So you cannot be a prophet. You don't belong to us. You are a destroyer. But Jesus escaped the dilemma because the dilemma exists only for the obsessed mind. When there is no mind, dilemma disappears because dilemma consists of division. You divide things in opposites. Then there is the question, what to choose, how to choose. Then the problem arises. But if there is no mind, there is no question of choice. A choicelessness has happened. So Jesus said, it is right. It is written in the scriptures to stone this woman to death. It is okay, bring the stones and kill this woman. But only that man is allowed to stone this woman who has himself not committed sin in his actions or in his mind. Then those who were leading the crowd started dispersing because there was none who had not committed adultery in act or in mind. And there is no difference whether one commits it in action or one commits it in the mind. It is the same for the consciousness. There is no difference. So whether you think of killing a person or you actually kill, there is no difference because you have killed inwardly when you have thought. Nobody could throw a stone at that woman. The crowd disappeared. Only the woman was left. So the woman then went to Jesus and said, "But I have committed. I have done a wrong. I am immoral. So whether the crowd is going to stone me to death or not, you can punish me. I confess." Jesus said, "Who am I to judge? It is between you and your God, you and the ultimate, you and the all. Who am I to judge? It is something between you and existence. Where do I come in?" This is the mind of a sage, the no mind of the sage. He cannot divide, he cannot judge, he cannot say this is good and this is bad. Only this type of consciousness can attain eyes that can see, penetrate into the real. This is Chakshumati Vidya. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining this evening's meditation. If anyone has got anything to share, please feel free to unmute yourself and also switch on your video. Yes, Maji.
I think for a moment you might got confused who it is, right, Dineshji?
Yes, I remembered that Ram and Madhu are in UK.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for the beautiful, beautiful wisdom, Dineshji. I think, Osho sharings are always a bit debatable. It's very hard to accept ourselves, but that is the fact. And I'm very glad that you have shared about the Chakshumati Vidya today and with nice examples. I really like the way that you have said about the rose example as well. For a moment, when we see a rose, we think like it's beautiful and immediately our mind starts functioning. I do not know if we are conditioned like that or it's our natural state, but what Osho says is true, that the enlightenment is also not differentiating and accepting the things as they are. Recently, I also have heard this story in Tirumala in India that a tiger has attacked a baby, and even I was thinking like it's immoral. All these forest officers has to do more. Of course, when we put our mind there, we think it's immoral. And as you mentioned, what the tiger sahajasthiti, like we say, its natural state, is just that. So where the mind is projecting, what we are seeing is completely our own perception. And like Osho's wisdom is really like an eye-opener, and even the way that you have given even Jesus as an example, saying like there's no difference one who commits the action, like one who commits in action or one who does that in mind. There's no difference. And we all think, sometimes, okay, maybe we are not speaking in words, but in mind will be so much of the cranky things will be happening. And yes, this shows how much of sadhana that we have to do, because understanding the mind and understanding our projections is somewhere we really have to focus on. Because in this, when we say being conscious, it's not only about what we speak, it's also about what we think about others. Sorry, maybe I take back my word, because what we think about ourselves, because others also doesn't exist as well, right? So thank you. Thank you so much for saying this, and also mentioning that consciousness is the only existence, and existence is one without any interpretation. Oh, thanks a lot. Thank you so much, Dineshji. I'll try to be that way. Now I feel how much of sadhana I have to do more and more.
We just need to continue meditating, because that is the only tool, that is the path, and that is the goal. And everything else will just happen. The more we focus on our breath, let go of other things that we are clinging on to in our mind, just focus on the breath. Breath is the guru, breath is the goal, breath is everything. So that
Yeah.
itself will result in whatever Osho has said today.
Yes, yes. And also this thing which even I have to, I have to work a lot, because logicality always comes and judgment always comes immediately. But to understand exactly and to penetrate on those things is really, really more important. And I also have to admit, yesterday only I have watched one video about Osho, and even there someone was questioning about how much of reality we get the answers in putting the right question. And then it's also a beautiful fact that he says 99% of the questions are stupid. There's no real answer, there's no real question. Only be in that state, like in the present moment. So his teachings are always like how much he puts all the words to mention as that enjoy the present moment, because in the present moment you are existence, like you are existing, and you are also non-existing. So just be in that state. And I really enjoyed today's topic. Thanks a lot, Dineshji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to share any of their experiences?
Hi, Dineshji.
Yes, hi, Mridulaji.
I'm glad you shared this story of Jesus, because, there were no scriptures until after Jesus died 30 years later, but they're following the Moses law, which is, either Moses or the Torah, because Jesus was Jewish. And it was to throw the stone if somebody committed a crime, including adultery. But because of what Jesus said, then, a few years later after he passed, the scriptures came to be. Yes. But he'd say, he who hasn't sinned, cast the first stone. And, we all sin at that time, as we all do things that in the eyes of the law, that time wasn't good. So nobody could throw the stone at that time. But yeah, so he, as you mentioned, different examples of people like Buddha, and they see inwardly. They don't look at the situation as it is. He was looking at it from a different eye, as you mentioned, different sense. So he was able to say that. And as you've said, if he said, don't do it, he's in trouble. If he says, do it, then the woman's in trouble. So he was seeing from inward, as so nicely and eloquently you put on the examples. I appreciate that. You took every part of the world and connected it together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dinesh.
Thank you. Namaste, everyone, and thank you very much for joining this evening's session. And we'll continue this wonderful series by Osho next Wednesday.
Dineshji, before that, I would like to request to share about your experience with Madhu and Ram. We all would like to hear. I know I have kept this question also to Kinnariji, but wanted to hear from every one of you, please.
Well, first, obviously, we've been doing these sessions on Beam for, I think, now nearly 2 years. And I've been communicating with Rameshji and Madhuji for the last 2 years. It was really very nice to meet both of them in person. And the good thing was we met them twice, once in a session in Watford and once at Hyde Park. And obviously they bring a lot of energy with them. They've been meditating for many, many years. And also they brought the wonderful painting with them. So everybody, I think, benefited a lot with the group meditation sessions, and it was really nice to have them here in the UK. I hope that we can all, once a year or somewhere where we can, the Germany and the UK groups can actually get together and have group meditation. It brings a lot of really good energy, positive vibes, and everybody benefits. So it was very, very good. Yes. Kinari, do you want to add anything? She's probably
Yeah, it was the same with me. Yeah, we were talking to means Nilima, Bhavnaji and I, and we were talking about this before the session started. So that was a really very nice experience. I told her that means, until now it was like a Doordarshan, but now we met personally. So that was another level of, joy and happiness that we felt when we come into, physical energy of people around us. So that was a really nice experience and it was just love. Yeah. So we should actually means even though we are just like like a soul family, like we love each other. We are by heart we are like one, and personally we feel like one. But meeting physically is also a very important thing. That is what I felt this time when we met, and then yeah, just looking and touching the Madhu's this cosmic picture. It was just out of this world experience. It was just like I asked her that, can I touch it? Can I touch it? And she said, yes, of course you can. And then I actually touched it. So that was something really amazing, very beautiful. Mhm. So I really enjoyed.
Love hearing Dinesh ji and Kinnari ji, Kinnari and Dinesh. Love hearing about that, and love seeing the pictures, love seeing the love seeing the joy. Just love, love, love. I'm just enjoying, it shows from the inside out or outside in. I don't know which way, but it's just glow. I see it in all the pictures, and I hear it from your words. Just lovely. Thanks for sharing.
yes, Dr. G.
And Sairam, may I speak?
Yes, of course. Yes, please.
Sairam, thank you so much. Wonderful session today. And the message to look inside you is the basic humanity, really. So I really am delighted with that message. The next thing I wanted to say was I was at the meditation with Madhu and Ram at Russell Court Hotel just the day before.
Yes.
It was so wonderful to see them. Seeing them first time, I was just over the moon. And what a day to say over the moon, India landing on the moon. I was just so happy to see them. And we had a wonderful session in the evening. And to see the painting, her Madhu's painting, the mandala painting of that cosmic picture, it such a moment, I tell you, it was such a moment to see that in sort of see live, to be there. And we did a meditation on that cosmic picture, the whole lot of us, there were lots of people, you might have seen in the photos. And it's such an experience to be connected in person, to be there in there, like all together, face to face. It was such an experience, unforgettable. And the energies are wonderful. I mean, I won't forget it at all. It's unforgettable, really. And they did other meditations at different members who had attended that day at their house. early morning the next day, 5:30 a.m., they arranged meditation, the nature meditation on the beach, which is just a couple of minutes walk to the beach, from the hotel. And we are all at the sea is practically at our doorstep, such a beautiful place to live in. And I wanted to go. I could not go because we had some repairmen men coming 7 o'clock in the morning to replace the door. So front door, according to the new fire regulations, apparently. I would have loved to be there on the beach at 5:30 in the morning. It's a wonderful, wonderful time. And you will see lots of, surprisingly, lots of, sea walking people by the sea. There'll be lots of them there, and people want to take pictures of the sunrise and so on. And anyway, but I am so over the moon to see Madhu and Ram, and there was all the, I think Swati was there, if I'm right. Well, we saw everyone in person, and Malti was there. And it was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful when they come around like that. And they brought the pyramid with them, and anyone can sit under it, and while the meditation was going on. And different people got different experiences. And the picture for me, the turquoise keeps drawing me. It started at that day in the morning itself. The turquoise color, the central figure in that picture is turquoise, ring of flowers, and that really got me. And as I said, that color was coming to me from morning that day, early morning that day. It kept repeating. So I'm trying to figure out what this turquoise blue is all about, what meaning or what understanding I should take. I'm pondering on that, and I'm sure some answers will come. I really enjoyed it, and how I really suggest that anyone who has a chance to be in person, it's a completely different experience doing things on Zoom and being there in person in the circle physically together. It's a completely unique experience, and it can't be replaced by any other online events or anything. So I really recommend that. And I just couldn't stop giving big hugs to Madhu. It's just wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. I'll let others speak. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to share their experience about being with Ram and Madhu?
Hi, Dineshji. I'm Swati.
Hi.
Yeah, actually, it was I can say it was a great experience. We booked a holiday to Bournemouth. From the beginning, we were thinking to go to Scotland, but we don't know why we booked there. And unexpectedly, I messaged Bhavnaji, and she welcomed me. I'm so happy that I met them, and they were so like our own family, I can say.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I had a nice experience when we were doing the meditation.
Excellent. Very good.
Yeah, it's so good.
Anyone else? So, thank you, everyone. And we continue our meditation journey. Thank you. Namaste, everyone.
Thank you. It was a nice session, wonderful session. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much, Dineshji. Yes, thank you all, my dear friends, for joining for the beautiful session of today, and also lovely hearing about all of the experiences. So tomorrow we'll be having the morning meditation session by Master Ranjani ji, and let us all connect back for tomorrow's morning meditation session. Thank you all.